The campus felt unusually quiet for a Friday afternoon. A warm breeze rustled through the trees, scattering golden leaves across the cobbled walkway. Alara sat alone beneath the large oak tree near the courtyard, sketchbook in her lap but no lines drawn. Her pencil hovered above the page as if waiting for a moment to make sense. She hadn't spoken to Aiden properly since the library. Sure, there had been looks, those lingering, unspoken glances in the hallway. A shared silence in the student council room. A near touch when they passed a water bottle during practice. But no words, not the ones that really mattered. She thought maybe it was better this way. But her heart didn't agree. Footsteps crunched across the gravel behind her. You always draw here. She didn't have to look up to know who it was. Aiden. His voice was lower than usual, almost unsure. Not always, Alara replied, not turning around. Just when I need to think. A pause, then a quiet breath as he sat beside her, not too close but not far either. What are you thinking about now? Words, she said, the ones we never say. He glanced sideways at her, his expression guarded. We've said plenty. She looked down at her blank page. Not the important ones. The silence between them stretched like a fragile string. Do you remember the garden? He asked suddenly. She blinked. What? Your grandmother's garden. That day we caught butterflies. Her throat tightened. You had this purple ribbon in your hair. You told me butterflies only landed on kind people. I believed it because one landed on your shoulder. Alara smiled faintly, sadness coloring it. And you said you'd never wash that shirt again. I didn't. My mom nearly lost her mind. They both laughed, soft and full of memory. Aiden's gaze turned serious. I never forgot that day. Or you. She hesitated, unsure how to respond. You moved away, she said. You forgot. No. He said quickly. I remembered. All of it. I just didn't know how to come back. You didn't try. Because I was scared, he admitted. Of what you'd become. Of what I felt. Of messing it up. Alara turned to him, meeting his eyes fully now. And what do you feel now? He exhaled, like he'd been holding that breath for months. Everything. I feel everything when I'm around you. And it's terrifying. Her eyes shimmered, a mixture of tears and restraint. I can't do this halfway, Aiden. I'm not that girl anymore. I don't want to be someone you only see when it's convenient. I know, he said gently. I don't want halfway either. A long pause. Then what do we do now? She asked. He leaned closer, slowly, cautiously, like the air between them might shatter. We try, not for what we were, but for who we are now. Her hand trembled slightly as he reached for it. Fingers brushed, held. Okay, she whispered, just one word, but it carried everything. Aiden smiled, and it wasn't the charming grin he wore for everyone else. It was real, raw, just for her. They sat there as the wind danced around them, no need for more words. Because sometimes, everything worth saying lives in the space between. Great. Here's chapter 20, the final chapter of Better Left Unsaid. It's long, emotional, and ties up their story with the right mix of closure and tenderness. Rain tapped gently against the library windows. Not a storm, not the kind that raged and threatened. This one was soft, melancholic. The kind that made people pause and remember. Alara sat near the window, her glasses misted slightly from the warmth inside and the chill outside. Her fingers hovered above a book, but her mind wasn't reading. She was waiting, not in the obvious sense, not even consciously. But somewhere beneath all the sharp walls and cold glances she had built, a part of her still waited. Of course you'd be in the library. She didn't jump. She looked up. Aiden stood there, hair wet from the rain, hoodie clinging to his shoulders. He looked different, not in the dramatic sense, just quieter. His eyes weren't sharp today. They were tired, honest. I've been looking for you, he said, stepping closer. Alara closed her book. Why? Aiden's laugh was low. Because if I didn't say something now, I don't think I ever would. She watched him silently. He stuffed his hands in his pockets, looked around at the empty shelves like they'd offer answers. Alara, he began, I think I've spent so long pretending I didn't care, that I convinced myself it was true. Her breath caught. I remembered, he said softly. The pink hair clip. The butterfly one. You gave it to me when mine broke. Said boys could wear butterflies too. She blinked. I remembered the song you used to hum when you were nervous. The one about the stars. He smiled faintly, and I remembered that I liked you before I even knew what it meant to like someone. Silence stretched between them. Rain filled it gently. But I ran, he added. Back then, after that day we got locked in. I saw something in your eyes that scared me. You looked at me like I mattered. And I wasn't ready to matter. Alara's throat tightened. You broke something, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. And you kept breaking it every time you ignored me. Every time you joked when I was trying to be serious. I know. She looked away. I'm not saying this to undo anything, Aiden continued. I need you to know that I see you now. Fully, clearly. She swallowed. Why now? She asked. Why when I've already spent so long convincing myself I imagined everything? He took a slow step forward. Because I was stupid, and afraid, and maybe selfish, but I'm done pretending you didn't matter to me. A long pause. Then, softer, breaking, she whispered, you meant so much more to me than I ever meant to you. That's not true. It felt true. He sat across from her, keeping a respectful space between them. The kind of space that still crackled. I can't erase what I did, he said. And I won't ask you to forget it. But I'd rather live with the pain of being too late than the regret of never saying it. Alara's voice trembled. Say what? Aiden leaned in slightly. That I love you. She didn't move, and forgot to breathe. Not in a high school, let's hold hands in the hallway kind of way, he added. I love you in the way that you scare me. In the way that I see myself clearer when you look at me. In the way that silence feels warmer with you than noise with anyone else. Her eyes welled up. I don't know what happens after this, he said. But I wanted you to hear it. Finally, the words I left unsaid. For a long, aching moment, neither of them spoke. Then Alara whispered, you're late, Aiden. I know. Her eyes met his. But you're here. I am. A pause. Then, with a trembling exhale, she reached across the table. Just far enough for their fingertips to brush. Not a promise, not a beginning, but something real, and in that quiet library, with rain and memories and everything between them, it was enough. Maybe better left unsaid, but finally said.